Welcome back, everybody, to Dreamhack 2011 for our final game of the Corsair DotA 2 Vengeance Tournament. That's right, we have gone through 3 days worth of matches, and we're here in the grand final after the first game, which went pretty one-sided towards Fnatic MSI. We came back with the second game, where Wild Honey Badgers came out firing from the get-go. Fnatic MSI had a surprise up their sleeve. It was one hell of a farm Spectre, but Wild Honey Badgers, they put their claws in, they managed to hold on, and they came back and won the second game. Of course, that means in the best style of Dota, we go to a third and final decider, and we're in the game right now, so let's check it out as far as our bans and picks go for the Radiant and the Dire. We go the coin toss again, so we do have Wild Honey Badgers playing for the Radiant side again. Obviously the coin toss, you get to choose a side, or you get to choose if you're going to pick first. So as far as sides go, we do have Wild Honey Badgers on the Radiant side. The Fnatic MSI boys will be on the Dire. The first pick does go to the Radiant, and that's why we're seeing them ban out both Broodmother as well as Windrunner, the side lane solo, picked up 2 times already. Prophet, not surprisingly, the first ban by Fnatic MSI. At this point, their biggest question will be, do we ban out Night Stalker, or do we ban out Anti-Mage? Both those heroes they will not want to see, and if we see Night Stalker, Wild Honey Badgers will be happy as Larry. But then again, then there's Tidehunter in the mix. There's a lot of heroes that the Radiant like to play, and because they banned out this Windrunner, they have the first pick. They are actually able to do this. This is why the first pick is ever so critical when it comes to bans, and they ban out Lich. Night Stalker should be our first pick here by the Wild Honey Badgers, and it is so. Synderen gets to play his main hero. He'll be very, very happy with this. This is going to make for a very, very aggressive game. For people who have never seen Night Stalker, you'll be seeing him a lot in a lot of Dota 2 matches, either in the ban pool or the picks. The reason why, oh, hello, Anti-Mage, big hard carry. The reason why is Night Stalker has his Void, which deals damage as well as a slow. Then you have his Silence as well, which you can cast. Always get 1 level on that when you start off with your hero. The third ability is called Hunter in the Night. So your attack speed goes up, your movement speed goes up, and basically you become an all-around tankier kind of guy. And that means you can dive tier 1 towers. You can go and you can kill anything where you normally would go, hang on, I am not going in there. I am going to get completely and utterly ganked and killed. Now you can do it. That's why Night Stalker is such a big guy. But watch the daytime and nighttime transition. Generally in the world of Dota, the only thing the daytime and nighttime transition changes is how much you actually see. So when it's nighttime, you can't see as far. When it's daytime, hello, you can see everything. But Night Stalker is different. During the nighttime, if you get an Aghanim Scepter up on him, you have unobstructed vision during the nighttime anywhere you want to go. The Dire, we're going to look at their picks. Anti-Mage is, of course, their first pick. We have seen him in our first game. Very, very hard hero to stop later in the game. He will burn your mana out, and with every slice called Mana Break, you can level that one up, but the more important ability is called Blink. So Blink being your second one, it always comes up as his first skill, unless he's playing in the middle lane. But even then, sometimes you go for the Blink. It allows you to avoid those early ganks, but what makes it even harder for Anti-Mage is the fact that Night Stalker has that silence. So once the silence goes on Anti-Mage, he can't blink himself away, which gives more time for the rain to damage because you can silence and you can void, and Anti-Mage's movement speed drops down to almost 0. And that's when Mirana can hit the arrow. You're going to add the Tide Gush on top of that, so the negative armor plus the reduced movement speed. Anti-Mage will basically be moonwalking his way to death in that kind of stage. So he'll rely on an Enigma, or he'll rely on support to keep him alive during this. And Anti-Mage, if he gets that farm, he will become unstoppable. But the same can be said about Night Stalker. A lot of Night Stalkers we've seen get up to about 4.5k worth of HP. Now that is 1,500 more than the Spectre in the last game, and you saw how hard it was to kill Spectre. It's harder to kill Night Stalker if he gets that extra farm. But generally Night Stalker is one of those guys, he hits a big, big punch during that first nighttime. If he doesn't get it, however, that is going to cause some issues. So Dire are all going to be about restrict his farm during the early stages of the game. Don't let him have an urn before the first nighttime, and don't give that Night Stalker any form of kills. Mirana was the last pick up for the Radiant as well, so the Dire might actually look towards the Venomancer just to stop the Radiant from running that Mirana side lane solo. Venomancer, of course, at this point being the most preferred counter pick towards Mirana, and they're going to go with Omni Knight. Omni Knight being one of those heroes who has not made the ban pool. We did see him in our first game In fact, we saw this almost exact combination from the DotA. This is almost their exact same lineup. Omni Knight actually buying up a Blink Dagger. He had enough money to buy up a Blink Dagger. That's an expensive item too. That's 2150 worth of gold to buy up. And then can keep up when Anti-Mage blinks in. He blinks over as well. And then the Purification drops on Anti-Mage. And things like that can then kill. The upside for this is, once the silence goes on, Omni Knight can pop the Repel on the Anti-Mage, and then he can blink himself away, plus the Purification. So as far as Nightstalker really shutting down the Anti-Mage, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to do so, especially if Enigma is there, and he can do that consistent stun. So now we're into our next stage of bans. So the way, if you are new to the world, you can see it going straight down the middle of your screen. So there's 4 bans, 2 bans by either side to start it off with. Then you go with the pick, so it's 1, 2, 2, 1. So you have 3 heroes per side. And then we go into the second stage of bans. So the second stage of bans is when the captain looks at the opposition and go, okay, they've got good carry, they've got a good jungler if they want to do it, and they've got good lifestay ability if they need it. They're missing a bit of stun. They're only going to get that from Enigma at this point. So let's just try and ban out some heroes which are going to work with that. So they ban out the biggest stunning support hero, and that is going to be Witch Doctor. He has had his face changed up a little bit. So he looks a little bit more menacing right now. But it is Witch Doctor nonetheless. So that bounce stun, really great for controlling off those team fights. And not only that, and it might have been something going through Synderen's head, Omni Knight already has a heal. The Restoration Witch Doctor heals everything around him. If you level that up, that is a lot of good Enigma to help with the push. We don't know who the DotA is going to be looking for the next 2 heroes. And at this point, they're just like, okay, we'll remove out the bounce stun, control the team fights, and also taking out Weaver, so removing out our second agi carry, and possible side lane solo. Weaver can do that as well. Weaver not appearing at all during this grand final, and this being our last game as well, means he will not appear during this grand final. In fact, I think he's appeared twice during this entire tournament. So that's very, very minimal for a Weaver. I think a lot of people have finally realized that he can be killed too easily. And Shadow Shaman is down, is the last ban for the DotA. A good ban as well. Radiant kind of know that they wanted to push back. They want to have the stuns. They want to have the hexes. And I'm wondering if that is a ploy by Fnatic MSI to force the Radiant to pick up Lion. Considering the track record of Wild Honey Badgers with Lion, they will not want to go down that path, and they'll look towards something else. They even prefer Lina over Lion, and Lina's stun is a lot harder to actually latch. So just a quick discussion there to his right. Synderen trying to work out who he wants, and we are going to see that Venomancer. So Venomancer is a great way of stopping those pushes, not to mention fantastic ultimate. The only downside for him is when that ultimate pops up from Omni Knight, and well, the damage kind of gets completely reduced. Crystal Maiden for the DotA, so mana regen for everybody. Enigma will be happy for that one, so will the Omni Knight. Omni Knight, one of those heroes that doesn't really need the extra aura, but the aura does help him out. It means he doesn't have to use that soul ring as much, and might even be able to skip buying the soul ring and go straight towards the mech. Soul ring is generally an item you see very, very early on from the Omni Knight, where he can sacrifice his own life to create that mana, and by doing so, oh, hello. What do you do when you have mana-intensive heroes? You get yourself a Pugna. So Pugna being the pickup. Pugna, a hero that just loves it when everybody's casting a spell. Because every time they do around the Nether Ward, they burn. So every bit of mana that's used, the more mana that's used, the more damage you will take. Also fantastic for pushing. The Pugna Blast is able to damage not only heroes, not only creeps, but also towers themselves. So it's a great way to guarantee you get the last hit. So the DotA will have a very, very hard time denying these towers the Pugna wants to go. Also, we have the Decrepify. This will actually stop Anti-Mage from attacking a hero. So you can't attack the hero, be it yourself, be it an enemy hero, but it will amplify the damage. That's just one thing that Pugna's will be very, very select about for who he wants to decrepify, and then his last ability being the Drain. So he drains the life out of any hero that is there, and when he gets an Aghanim Scepter on that, there is no cooldown that Drain. He can just keep popping it and popping it and popping it, and he has no cooldown whatsoever on it. And Sand King is our last one for the DotA. A very, very interesting hero. They were looking for team fight, and SK is going to give it to them. If they get a fantastic Enigma and SK combo ulti off, we are going to see possibly one of the quickest deaths by the entire team of Wild Honey Badgers. Players have to select. There is one person to select it on the Fnatic MSI side. It's Andre. Who does he want to get? Obviously, he has no more choice. I just can't see him. They're behind this Captain's Draft mode. And we can get ourselves into this third and final game. 10,000. That is how much is available for the prize pool. The winner of this game gets to take home the lion's share and also claim themselves as the first victor of the Dota 2 Championship, sponsored by Corsair here at Dreamhack 2011. So we are now into our game. Fnatic will be playing for the DotA, and Wild Honey Badgers playing for the Radiant side.
Prepare for battle.
Synderen is going to feel so happy he gets to play his hero during this last game. Synderen loves to go for the build, and he will, by the way, if you ever watch any of the shoutcasts over at Join Dota, you are going to know he will rip the living crap out of you if you do not get silence. You got to get silence. So you get 1 level on the Void, 1 level on the Silence, then you can do whatever you want. He won't really care after that point. But you'll Scepter build. We already see the 2 Gauntlets of Strength, so he is looking to get that Urn of Shadows. So when you get into that nighttime, you can really gank up hard. You get those Urn charges, and that gives more life. Obviously, you can use it to gank. When you throw the Urn charge onto your opponent, it will deal off that damage. Or you can throw it on yourself after you dive down a tower, and then life is all hunky-dory from there. So meanwhile, I'll just give a bit of a reminder as well. The players can hear everything I'm saying, and also everything I see. They can hear the game sound effects. So we do try and cover up absolutely everything so no team get an advantage. We even put sideboards on the middle monitor just so they can't see it. So in the meantime, we'll be looking to see our lanes. 35 seconds before the creep wave will spawn. This happens in every single game. This is just that time when the teams have, they actually have, what was it, 1 minute 45 to prepare their jungle. Throw down their wards, see where they want to go, see if they can find an early gank. Things along those lines. We did see in our last 2 games, both the teams wanting to look to smoke up, wanting to try and go inside the enemy jungle and find some kills. The first game, it was the battle in the Radiant jungle. The second game, it was the battle in the Dire jungle. And because we all remember that battle on that top lane, we had, I think, 6 kills even before the game even started. And that's when we saw the Spectre picking up that Ring of Health very, very early on. There is going to be nothing like that. The Fog Hornet's already sounded, so the creep wave is going out. Also, a fun thing to note, if you're ever playing Dota 2, this is called blocking. Stand in front of the creep wave, slow it down, and it keeps it on your side, so you can fight from the high ground. But both Sea Badger is wanting to do it there on that middle lane. He has support from the Venomancer, and now they spot up the Anti-Mage. That's way before they saw him before they announced that middle lane. So the Anti-Mage as well as the Crystal Mage. So once again, the Anti-Mage going in towards that middle lane with that range support. It's going to be very, very hard. You've got Venomancer as well as Pugna. That is a lot of damage. You've got not only the Nether Blast. Oh, hello. What's happening on bottom lane? Repeller's already up on Omni Knight. The Gush, they were waiting for it to go. There goes the Gush and the Void. Omni Knight trying to retreat back the tower. That is a lot of slow. He will live and be forced to pop off his salve. But Synderen and Coronity already wanting to be the Bash brothers on that bottom lane. Peppy is the top lane solo. SK, Mitch versus Peppy. That's going to bring back some bad memories for him. Mitch going to have a little bit of a harder time on this top lane. It is one thing that the SK is able to do, and that's the Sandstorm way of building on this top. So you just get yourself a Sobi Mask early on the piece, and once you hit level 2 Sandstorm... Oh, Peppy, what are you doing, son? Missing the arrow. Decrepify on Bayer. Gale hits as well. Really just pushing that CM back. Able to do that. They've got a fair chunk of mana, and more than likely we're going to see a Ring of Basilius up pretty fast in that middle lane. Not going to care about wasting it too much. Mitch taking a little bit of damage. He has a level 2 on that Burrow Strike, so might even go on Peppy right now. Peppy going to take a little bit of damage. He's got to be careful. Mitch can even go for that Sandstorm, and there goes the Burrow Strike. A couple of hits, getting in front. Peppy throws the arrow. It goes through Mitch. It was the same time the Sandstorm came up. They're able to avoid. In the meantime, Bayer getting pushed back on that middle lane. Interesting to see them harassing the ranged support hero of all heroes. So now Mitch feeling very, very confident. No one's getting mana, but they're not going to be ready for this. Karani, he puts off the Gush. Sand King's in trouble. He's taking a lot of damage with that negative armor on him. And will he go down? He's moving away, going back inside the trees. He's got to run faster with a mask. Yes, it will be enough. The first blood is spilt. Wild Honey Badgers do it. A simple roam out from Tidehunter. Leaving Synderen from that bottom lane. He just picked up a TP scroll, went up. That was a nice play. So now he'll stay up there with Peppy. Hopefully not for too long. Tide will enjoy the levels. It's not something you should stay up there for. He's got the advantage over Mitch, Peppy. Even though Mitch is already up at level 4. He has a lot more farms. Actually, just going to check the CS score to see what's happening up at the top lane. Ooh, no, that's not going to go. So yeah, checking out that top lane. Yeah, that's actually pretty level. Hello, Pugner. Throwing off a blast on the anti-mage. Just a little bit of harassment for him. I want to point out right now, too, that Andre is in no lane. We've seen many times. Oh, it looks like SK is just Burrow striking himself to safety. There's also a problem, too, I just realized on the top lane. Generally, Mitch would look to go for that Sandstorm ability, but if you pop off an arrow, and you know where he went into that Sandstorm, then you're not going to be able to live through that. The arrow will stun and bring you out of that Sandstorm. And not to mention, it's going to stun you. You'll be caught in position for a while. Venomancer. Just harassing that anti-mage back. Crystal Maiden doing what she can. 1 level on the aura. In fact, just 1 across the board. I'm surprised we don't see a little bit higher levels in that Poison Sting. Going support right now, just with a Venomous Gale. That Sting will be a little bit better for the harassment in the middle lane, considering they got the double range, but it's all about the Gale for him. In the meantime, Mitch being very, very defensive on the top lane. There's not a lot he can do about this. While Pepe controls it, he knows the Tidehunter is missing from all the lanes. So he just fears that Tide, and Tide's just going to come up and gush him. He's got the mana for it. Is he? Dude. He's going to dive in. Mitch is inside the trees. Karani's going to go in. This is crazy. Pepe wants to go as well. They find Mitch. The arrow, it hits, but he burrow strikes as well. And the Sandstorm, there is no arrow. And a Sentry Ward. Marana gets another. Great aggressive play there by Wild Honey Badgers. Meanwhile, back in the middle lane. A very, very fast fallback here by Baya. They've already copped the Venomous Gales. They've taken a little bit of damage and using all their consumables to get their life back up again. Anti-Mage has nothing left. He is forced back. Baya already munched on that Tango. And then just realized, like, oh crap, my carry kind of needed that. And now we both have no life, which gives more time for Sea Badger to get some farm. As well as Venomancer, both getting levels. One hero we still have not heard anything from is Andre. He has not come into a single lane yet. SK Burrow striking Pepe on the top. Just mere harassment, and Pepe just turns around, Starfalls, and takes away the same amount of life for about the same amount of mana. In the meantime, Syndrome going to point out the daytime. Daytime is 5 PM. That's a new thing they added in the last patch. We're going to hit 6 PM in Dota 2 time. And once we hit that, the sun will fall, and Syndrome will be overpowered. We've got 1 level of Hunter in the night. 1 level on the darkness as well. It's always important. Oh, hello. Andre's going to come up, looking for the mini stuns. Pepe's going to hold him in place. Pepe will not be able to chase this, but with Karani there, they have more than enough support. Mitch has no life. Even if he wants to burrow strike in, he'll lose all his mana, and he's 180 mana before he can do the combination of Burrow to Sandstorm. And hello, nighttime. Look at Nice Orc, where the wings will open up. The mouth does as well. And instantly popping that ultimate as well. He loves that ultimate, the Night Stalker. Once he pops off that ultimate, time goes straight to midnight. So it's, well, 12 AM if they want to do it that way. So straight towards midnight, and it stops time. So it actually extends the period of nighttime, and that's when he's the most powerful. Interesting to also note that Syndrome's only got 1 level of Hunter in the night, so he doesn't really want the extra movement speed as such. It helps him, but he gets the passive bonus. It's the Void that he wants, because that's going to do the damage. So now, Fnatic know this is going to be the danger time for them. If Syndrome gets a kill, then there's going to be some issues for them. If Syndrome doesn't get a kill, there'll be no issues at all. Mitch teaming up together with Omni-Knight. Omni-Knight with a good purification after Mitch Burrow striked himself in. So he did a lot of damage to that Marana. And Marana, having no consumables, is forced to go back. The bottle is empty. Also with Marana on that top lane, generally bottles, they always get filled up for the people who are in the middle lanes. They just walk up, grab themselves a rune. That fills up their bottle, and then, of course, they can just go from fun there. Syndrome on the top lane. Mitch is just sitting inside a Sandstorm right now. Also got to be really careful. Mitch is level 6.
Invisibility.
Needs a lot of mana to get any form of Burrow Strike as well as stun off, an Epicenter. On the bright side for him, though, now has a bottle, so he can keep those charges flying out. Just requires, well, a dedicated courier to fly out. Yay are the days of the SFs running solo mid with a courier purchase just for them. At this point, Crystal Maiden trying to hold the middle lane. Looks to be by herself as well. Steve Badger will love this. Hey, I got more time to farm. Great times. And once again, just a advantage going up to Warlow Mitch. Trouble, purification goes up, repel as well. He's going for the epicenter so they can't stop him, but no one is there. It is a wasted epicenter. Syndra moved down to the sides, and now they find him inside the trees. Burrow Strike goes. Karani's coming up. There is no Ravage, but the Gale will go on Andre, and Anti-Mage is in the mix. Syndra caught in the trees. They get the kill on the Night Stalker. That is not what WHB wanted, especially if they lose the Venomancer. Omnite, very, very quick purification, but 5 heroes for Fnatic on that top lane. Burrow Strike! Massive Burrow Strike! Venomancer will go down. Anti-Mage with the Repel having the time of his life on that top lane. And 2 kills for Fnatic. Pepe missing the arrow. It was just a little bit too far to the left, and Baya, if he got hit, he would be dead. Needed to wait for that gush to go first before the arrow flew out. That movement speed needed to be dropped down, but even then, if you put the arrow too far to the right, the creep wave would have been hit. I think he was expecting CM to go to the left, but Baya held his line true. Anti-Mage goes back down towards the bottom lane. There's that Soul Ring and boots of speed. So might be looking for strength trades considering he's got that Soul Ring. Keep that strength up, or switch him into Intel. Improve that mana pool for himself. Too many wards. Andre, as we were expecting on that top lane, already had that Soul Ring. That's what you get when you have an Enigma in the neutrals. You can check out his farm right now. It's pretty decent as well. Almost the most farmed hero on the map. Really surprising is this guy. What are we going to see? Wow, ready. Maybe you just a double disable. Hello, Syndran. Silence is up. He can't move away. There is no repel. The buyer is here.
Not for you.
So Syndran unable to get the kill in the middle lane, which means no earn charge for him. There's no kills in that top lane. Pugna taking a little bit of damage. Pepe went to go on Omnite. Looks like it was an Omnite purification. And Pepe just blasting that creep wave to death. They don't have enough of their own creep wave to assault this tier 1 tower yet. An Omnite wing on those front lines. Would like to come in. Takes a lot of damage from that blast. And is down on very, very low mana. He only has 1 more heal up his sleeve. And if he pops a repel, he won't have that heal. So Pepe feeling a little bit more space. Will be able to push on that tier 1 tower. So meanwhile, Baya comes down to help out. Pepe is still harassing.
Illusion.
And it's going to be Sea Badger. Wanting to fall back with Pepe. They realize without a creep wave, there's nothing more they can really do about this. And waiting for the push to come. They need the creep wave, and there's that siege creep. Always the best time to push up a lane is when you've got a siege creep in tow. There's a lot of damage towards those towers, a lot more, and with that Pugna blast, look at that tower. Just lose so much life so fast, and SK catches out Syndra. The question is, which one's the real one? They found him, they're going to kill him. The epicenter, this time it hits. Pugna, whoa! What the hell, Andre? Sea Badger, Mirana gets the kill. That is going to be an AAM ulti, which takes away the last bit of the life of the Pugna. Enigma is down. Mirana got the kill on him, so it's a 2-1 trade. Night Stalker was not wanting to be caught out just then. But in the meantime, the tier 1 tower's been pushed down the middle lane. So we've lost 2 tier 1 towers very fast. So once again, Fnatic MSI on that back foot. They are really having a hard time holding these tier 1 towers early on in the game. And this is where the strength comes for Night Stalker. You lose those tier 1 towers, and then all of a sudden, he's moving around the map, he's having a great ganking time, and you can't bring support out fast enough to stop him. Only downside for Syndran is he's died twice. So Syndran's having a very, very hard time getting that farm up, which he needs to be massively effective during the nighttime. And we're approaching the end of the nighttime. Hello for silence. Smoke. He's dead. Maybe Karani, Pudger. There we go. Pugna's there. Bit of a waste of a Ravage. But they still get the kill on top. Tidehunter is the one to take it and finishes up his arcane boost because of it, so everyone gets mana. And now with the ultimate going off from Syndran again, we go towards the midnight. SK on the haste, will Burrow Strike. Venomancer pops off the ultimate very, very nicely. He might be able to do enough damage towards Mitch to kill him, but no, and Anti-Mage will pop the ultimate. Pepe comes in towards the middle as well. Maybe with the leap. He has no mana for this. Leaps up. Maybe 2 more hits, but no, the Venomancer already wears off. Andre is coming in. He has no ultimate. SK's here. Burrow Strike. Pepe overextending. And will pay the price. More kills coming out for both Andre and Mitch. It's going to put both of them close towards those blink daggers. In the meantime, the tier 1 tower was brought down the top lane. So this is all becoming a bit of a trade. And you can see there with the difference in gold earned. What is going to be the highest trade? A tower, or a kill on a support hero, or a kill on a Mirana? You still keep the money coming in. So it's whatever keeps your balance going, and Synderen would love this. He hasn't been getting kills, but with the tower kills going, he will still get the goal that he requires. Unfortunately for him, there is very, very little time left. He has maybe 30, 40 seconds of real time left in this nighttime. And hello, Mitch. Mitch is spotted. Burrow strikes, already used Sandstorm. He's going to go for the epicenter. Synderen on the run. And it's a fantastic gale. They turn around. The Void. Mirana ultimate will not be enough. Karani popped off the anchor smash. They get the kill on the Sand King. Yes, he will. The Mirana ulti takes Karani out of vision. And they'll fall back. Arrow! Here's a long arrow on Anti-Mage. There's enough conversions there to make him think twice, and now we're into the daytime. Synderen losing his advantage, but there's still a tier 1 tower. Great Gale slowing down Baja. He has a negative urn charge, so he will die. Crystal Maiden gets the last hit, or in fact, everyone gets the last hit. Anti-Mage, don't get cocky. Falls back from the tower, losing 2 heroes, making it 6-6. Peppy, wow, go stun, go stun, go Sunny Jim. Now the turnaround, they want to look for the stuns. They're not going to get it. Matchroom one's runway, Peppy runs the other, Peppy goes back in again. Anti-Mage is in very, very close. And Omnite only has enough, in fact his heal's on cooldown. He's already used the repel, as you can see on Anti-Mage. So it is a 2-for-0 kill in that middle lane. It's a big battle to keep that advantage going. You've already got the towers.
Double damage.
And also makes 3 for 1 for Peppy. 1 for the Veno, 1 for the Tidehunter as well, which is actually a lot bigger than you think. With that Tidehunter up to level 6, we've seen that Ravage already pop off to get the kill on the top lane. And because he popped it so early, Ravage gets to come back up again. Not really needing to use it during that middle. Crap, Pugner's farm's going up. That is insane. He has actually completed that already. 14 minutes in. What is this guy on? That would kind of explain it. And again, Anima's been doing a good job, but it's a little bit deceiving as far as the CS goes. It's how many creeps you've killed. And the creeps on the lane are generally worth about the same. But creeps inside the jungle, they're worth a little bit different. So Andre can kill them a little bit faster than Pugner can in the lanes. In the meantime, a lot of the heroes really hiding themselves from vision. We'll start the whole battle of the wards again. It was an interesting fact when Fnatic was playing up against the team formerly known as Virus, now known as Team Shakira. I think they ended up, if we would want to go back to the replay, we'd probably count about 50 to 60 wards being purchased in total by the teams. It was just a massive battle for map control, for map vision. They want to know where the attacks are coming. In this instance, they want to know when the arrow is going to fly. Just like that arrow flying down the middle lane, Anti-Mage still copying the Gale, but if you got hit by that arrow, he'll be completely goner. I don't think she had any form of vision from that. It was just when it got towards the creep wave. That's why a lot of arrows from a runner also like to fly through the fog of war. So you don't see them coming, they just hit you all of a sudden. Top lane conversion, spotting out the Tidehunter up inside the jungle. The ping's instantly going off, going, hey guys, there's somebody here, something's not right.
Invisibility.
Synderen on the bottom lane is having a little fun there with the Omni Knight. Might look for the Void in just a couple of moments, but at this point, it could be a little bit damaging. Baya spots the Venomancer hanging inside the trees. They might not be ready for his ultimate to go, and the Repel actually cancelling off a lot of the effect. SK goes in, and Venomancer might look to aggro off Roshan. Roshan will attack. They're inside the tree, inside it, and Anti-Mage with his ultimate want to ensure that last hit gets it to. But does pop that ultimate, so now we're going to be on cooldown, and it's distraction. Smoke and mirrors, man, up towards the top lane. Sea Badger is there. Omni Knight is also there, avoiding the damage from the Pugner blast, and Pugner dropping that ward. He wants to go, arrow will fly, misses, Peppy's in, Starfall will go, the Repeller's already up, so he won't want to pop that Starfall until the Repeller's gone. Karani coming in too, extra TP coming in, will they gank on him? Karani is right next towards that tower, SK Burrow Strike, Epicenter, Anti-Mage blinks in, but the Mirana ultimate keeps him in vis. They can't find him. Pugner lives. And the Epicenter is gone. Pugner being revealed out by the courier. And the tower. He's still on the run. Mish doesn't want to let this go. Burrow strikes, and he gets it. Will he get the kill? Pugner decrepifying himself, so he can't attack. He's moving through the trees. This is a gank squad. Can they kill him? The Frost running up through. The creep wave is here. The Burrow strike from Sand King. You do not run from Fnatic MSI. However, 4 heroes being dedicated to get that kill. That's a lot of resources spent. While Anti-Mage is farming up on the top, that's the only thing they're getting from that, but Karani was getting a couple of levels, and then Peppy's having fun in the middle lane as well. So as far as getting the kill on a Pugner, it's pretty awesome considering the amount of farm he's got. But I also want to point out, Mech and Voidstone were up during that battle. Life is up. He has a lot of mana regen as well. Got that very early on in the piece. He was looking for probably a Yule Scepter, or possibly, if he can get the farm for it, get towards that Mystic Staff and complete up what will be a Scythe of Vice.
Radiant's bottom
Going to the
tower
fun world of
is
the
under
Sheep Stick.
attack.
Generally got that name because in Warcraft 3, when you popped it off, you turned into a sheep. And then you get turned into a chicken in the world of Dota 1, and then you also get turned into a pig in the world of Dota 2. So we're all about the farm animals. In the meantime, Peppy leaving, either himself or a couple of illusions up on the top lane. And hello to Pugno, as well as to Venomancer. They're going to help with this push. In the meantime, Peppy is down on that bottom lane. Going for a little bit of farm. You can see by the amount of damage he does. That's one thing which you can generally tell when you're going, is that an illusion or is that a real one? The illusions deal next to no damage. They also take a crap load more damage, because they don't have any of the effects of the items.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So now, top tower is getting harassed just by a couple of illusions. They won't really care too much, and once they start getting attacked, you'll see, yep, there goes the life. Burned up and killed. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Peppy is still pushing. Buying up a lot of items, because he's getting a lot of money coming in. Mitch, looking for an opening. Such a great combination with the SK as well as Omni Knight. You can pop that repel on him, and no one can stun him during that period unless you have something that goes through BKB. And at this point, there is nothing. There is no Vengeful Spirit swap. There's no Beastmaster. There's no nothing like that. So it's just one of those things where SK is almost guaranteed his ultimate every single time. And that works out pretty nicely. That's why we're seeing him with a point booster. He's thinking a lot more about going for the Aghanim Scepter, which improves his ultimate. You get an extra 2 pulses and does a little bit more damage as well. So the Aghanim Scepter, an item you see on a lot of heroes. You would like to see it on Prophet. You like to see it on a lot of heroes like Queen of Pain. Reduces cooldown sometimes, improves ultimates, makes them do a little bit more damage. And that's what it's for. It's just basically the ultimate improver item of all time. Also, of course, gives the extra 10 agility because it requires the points booster. So you get agility, strength, as well as intelligence, because it requires the 1,000 gold items for it. And goodbye, Mitch. You are gone. There's a gank. There is a Burrow Strike. He's currently decrepify. No one can attack him, but the Nether Ward is down there. No one wants to pop abilities during this time. Andre, he's thinking about it. He pops the Black Hole directly after Tidehunter. Pops off his Ravage, holding him in place. Mitch looking for the epicenter. He's going to get it too. Venomancer takes a lot of damage and will go down, but they're still fighting within the Nether Ward. Synderen gets a double kill. He needs to get back in there and shut down the Anti-Mage, and that's exactly what he's doing. Anti-Mage can't blink. That Nether Ward is still up. If he does, it'll take some damage. Same with Omni Knight. He does not want to pop off that Purification. Nether Ward times out. Gush turns around. Decrepify. Blast. Anti-Mage. Not enough for the Void. The Purification at the right time. Synderen being stunned on the run. It is still night time. That is why we saw Wild Honey Badgers trying to initiate just then. So it's a 2-1 trade. That's why Synderen has those earn charges with those kills. He gets more of them. Can heal himself up. And ow, arrow. Just missing on the Anti-Mage. Tidehunter showing himself up as well as Synderen through the side. Fnatic know he's there. And a very, very, very smart. You'll hear that end sound. And Tide will be very, very happy to live through this. So Fnatic MSI, they were still having a bit of a look around. You're kind of going to realize at this point, they were just calling themselves, where's he going? Check this spot, check this spot. We got to find them. Mitch. I think he's thinking about doing this. A simple Sandstorm on the middle lane is going to help push this lane. Synderen will be there, and it is night time, so he can take up a fair amount of this, and we already see on him a Voidstone. So he's on the way to completing that Yule Scepter. And with that double disable through the Sheep Stick of Sea Badger, as well as the Yule Scepter of Synderen, the Anti-Mage will be able to do very, very little damage, plus the Decrepify can really shut down the Anti-Mage. And that was the original plan. That's why Pugna came up as their pick. The only thing which they weren't really planning on is having to deal with Omni Knight once he heals and purifies and repels. Causes a very, very large spanner in their works. But we do sit at 9-9.
Invisibility.
You can see at this point there is a significant difference when it comes to the gold. Generally, when you look at it, it's like if there's 1,000 gold difference, you go, that's cool, that's fine. There's nothing really nuts about that. But when it's up around the market set at the moment, you go, yeah, okay. Still that advantage. But we saw what happened even if you have an advantage in the last game, Wild Honey Badgers went up to 15,000 gold advantage in the second game, and still Fnatic, they came back. It all depends on who has the farm, who has the money, and if you get your chaining spells off. So to have an Enigma Black Hole, the SK Ultimate, the Purification, that is a lot of damage done to everybody inside that Black Hole, and then Steamy can even drop her own Ultimate, but she hasn't skilled it up just yet, and that's for very good reasons. 4 levels on the Aura, and then 2-2, just to ensure she can land that stun, give that slow effect, and make sure everybody has the mana they need to move around the map. That's the more important thing for her, even though there are a lot of bottles running. So now, having a bit of a look around. What have we got in towards middle lane? Mitch just showing himself. Wanting to keep this tier 2 tower as safe as possible. They've already lost all their tier 1s. That's not something they want to do. And see Badger, careful man. Spots the Omni Knight. Anti-Mage blinks him. Mirana instantly pops the ultimate. There is no dust. There is no gem. So they pop the dust. But Sea Badger is not there, so they don't see him. But that dust is now on cooldown. So is the Mirana ultimate. In the meantime, Mitch is still having fun there in the mid lane, sitting inside a Sandstorm. Gotta be careful, Mitch, with that Sandstorm. He doesn't never really know where Mirana is moving. And if they get themselves an arrow, things can really go bad for them. Venomancer Ward now being dropped in the bottom lane. And it's any decent level. Karani getting a good stun. Arrow will fly as well. Hits on Baya. He is still going to be taken down, so at least it's a 40-0. Venomancer, the Enigma Ultimate, holding tight under in place. He's already popped up his gravity. He's done his job. The Pugna Ward is still burning them out. Nice look with the double. Purification up here. And Epicenter is a good one by SK. Wild Honey Badger taking a lot of damage from that. Peppy trying to retreat back out. Nice look with a triple kill. Anti-Mage wants a couple more as well. Peppy is on the run. Will he have the support? Burrow Strike kills him off. Sanking gets that kill, and Synderen says, you know what, screw this, man. I'm the only one alive. I'm out. So a 3-for-4 trade in the bottom lane. All Wild Honey Badgers wanted was to push that tier 2 tower, but it was not allowed. Fnatic MSI really holding that fort down. CSK got that kill, so now at 5-4 for 7. But it's the better thing for Anti-Mage, 6-0-3 with a very decent CS score as well. Problem for him is he's pretty much easily countered to kill off these support heroes. That's why he lived to the end. The support heroes were the target. Kill off that Enigma. Kill off that Omni Knight. CM, she's an easy kill. They kind of would have liked that arrow to hit Omni Knight a little bit faster. That way they might have been able to kill off that Anti-Mage a little bit faster as well. That Purification does cause a big spanner in the works. Sand King making the most of that money he got. As we go back to the middle of midnight, Synderen popping that ultimate. Just keeping that nighttime up. He wants to make the most of this phase of nighttime. It's the second phase of the nighttime. And once we head in towards the day, well, life gets a little bit more difficult for him. We just saw just then on the Sand King, a Blink Dagger for the Sand King. Such amazing range with that Blink Dagger. The ability to blink and then Burrow Strike and then follow it with an Epicenter. Or you can Epicenter, then blink and then Burrow Strike. That way you still get that stun and you can cast off your ultimate out of the play and not force Omni Knight to waste his repel on you. So in the meantime, Tier 2 towers still standing for all the Tier 2 towers for the Dire side. All Wild Honey Badgers Tier 1 towers are up. I think they're a little bit damaged. Yeah, middle tower's damaged a fair amount. Top tower hasn't even been touched. Not a single touch on it. Oh, Anti-Mage. I think he was thinking about that. Peppy TP's down towards the bottom lane. Finished his Diffusal Blade now. So Diffusal Blade, such an amazing item for Peppy to remove off that repel. So once the repel is cast, you can get rid of that. Anti-Mage on the front lines in the mid. You can see him with that Yasha as well as Vanguard. Looking to get that man to start completed. Night Stalker straight in. Starts with the silence. Just forces Anti-Mage back from that creep wave. See, Badger also showed himself for just a moment in that middle lane. But Anti-Mage still stays on the front lines, getting as much farm as he can. Synderen again. Straight up Venomancer Ward, instantly sliced in twine by Anti-Mage. But it's just a buying time. Peppy's still pushing out that bottom lane. He doesn't really need to do much more. All they need to do is hold their Tier 1 towers and keep picking up these Tier 2s of Fnatic. But then again, they've also got to be careful of how much farm Fnatic MSI is going to get on that Anti-Mage. Already with a Void. Nighttime's about to run out. And there goes Peppy. Bottom tower forces the TP, and then he just leaps away to safety. So buys a little bit more space. Tier 1 tower for the first time now getting touched. And support will be up there in just a moment.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So the announcer making it, well, Mr. Obvious. Cinder in the meantime has completed up that Yule Scepter as well as Ogre Axe. Enjoying this farm. We'll be looking for the next stage of nighttime to have that BKB. Not quite sure if he'll use his ultimate at this point, so we've just got a quick problem here from Andre. We'll see what it is. So just having to pause the game for a moment. So Andre is now ready. Maybe a cramp in the hand or something. And Synderen does pop that ultimate off again, taking him back down to nighttime, so he doesn't want this nighttime to end. He still wants a little bit more. If he can farm up towards that BKB for the next nighttime, then life can be very, very good for him. Anti-Mage doing very, very good for himself. So much farm. This is something Wild Honey Badger's cannot allow. They cannot allow that Anti-Mage to have that much farm. Fabi came down towards that bottom lane to look for a gank on him, but already Anti-Mage able to escape. Wow, really? Already done. And now Synderen. He's only got a little bit left of this nighttime. It's a concern for him too. If the battle starts up, then nighttime's going to wear off. That ultimate has a very, very, very long cooldown. So the duration being 50 and then 150 cooldown. It's a long, long time, 100 seconds. Minute and 40 seconds, if you're wondering. That's right, mathematics. We're doing that before on the stream. But Synderen would love to find someone to kill. He's not really going to find it right now. There's SK in the middle lane, but everyone else is out of the lane. So Fnatic, very, very, very defensive right now. And that's something concerning for them. I think they might just be waiting for the daytime before they try and strike again. Knowing that Synderen already popped off his ultimate means that Nightstalker will not be that power in the waters which he needs to be. And there's our daytime. We do hit it. So the 6 AM, the cockerel crows. But already the lanes are pushed. So Fnatic MSI, even if they want to go ganking and look for that Nightstalker, they really can't. It is not possible for them because they have to defend these lanes. Bottom lane's being pushed. Mitch is having to take care of that one. Anti-Mage is taking care of the top. It takes him a little bit longer than normal to take care of that top because he doesn't have that perseverance into the Battle Fury. And instead, he completes up the Manta style before everything else. So not wanting to go the farm through the standard conventional method of the Battle Fury of Anti-Mage, wanting to do it the old-fashioned way, with just a simple Vanguard, then Manta style, not waste any money on any other items. Problem is he loses a lot of pushing power by doing that. And that's where Anti-Mage gets a lot of his strength later on in the game. He can push down those side lanes, push down the middle, push down the top if he so decides. Does whatever lane no one else didn't. Blink in. Arrow will fly. It's nothing. Straight to the middle of Fnatic MSI. Does pop toss as well. Looking for that Sand King in case he does want a Sandstorm. Look for that blink. 2, 1, 0. Blink. Burrow. Hold him in place. Already with that dust on top of Venomancer. Means he will die. Does get his own ultimate off. It hits everybody in that Fnatic lineup. Repel going up from Omnite on himself. Synderen goes in. He's popped off his ultimate. Enigma's up in the air. There will be no ultimate. And Hams is Mitch, who's getting stuck. Enigma pops the ultimate but got disrupted during it. Mitch going for the epicenter. He will get it, but he gets Yules before it goes off. Ty goes in with the anchor smash. Synderen will bring down Mitch. There goes Mitch in the back, and he instantly buys back into the game. But his ultimate is already gone. Bias trying to fall back. Kroni gets it. One big anchor smash. Omnite's not quite finished. He needs to get in towards that middle lane. Heal up. No, it's not going to be it. Omnite goes down. SK is back. He burrow strikes and also lets off the Sandstorm. He needs to get back out. Anti-Mage is dying. Yule Scepter pulling up the Sand King into the air. The Anti-Mage goes down. The Wild Honey Badgers, they're going to get another one. Triple kill for the Mirana. It is genocidal here. Wild Honey Badgers will claim not only the entire Fnatic MSI team, but the SK buyback. The gold is gone from that, and the Tier 2 tower will be the next damage, and more than likely the rotation down to the Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. It is pretty low anyway, or will they stop? Will they stop? Don't do the Wild Honey Badger overextend. They've kind of patented it during this tournament, but they will go in. The fortification is at least forced. 25 seconds before Anti-Mage is back. He does not have enough money to buy back, and that's because he bought that Manta style. Enigma sending some conversions in. His black hole is gone. SK's ulti is gone. The barracks might be gone. TP support's going to come in. Kroni is forced up. Yule Scepter. Omnite goes up in the air. Off goes the Gale. Omnite's already gone. Omnite is gone. That's a huge blow. 54 seconds. The barracks is now exposed. Yule Scepter. Enigma is gone. How many Yules is on here? In we go. Anti-Mage pops the Manta style. sucking Syndra's mana out, trying to get the stun. He's blocked by the creep wave. The melee barracks is gone. That's the bigger thing. The nether ward is down. Andre, he doesn't want to pop off too much. No, that was Andy Mage. Negative earn charge. You spin me round, goes up in the air. And Peppy's on the run. Pugna wants to stick. They're turning. Venomancer. He was almost the bait. Arrow! They do not get hit by it. They see it coming from a mile away. And Wild Honey Badgers are going to be happy with that. Melee barracks done. A big battle for Wild Honey Badgers to win. Complete genocide. Omni-Knight goes down. I want to count how many Yules is on this team. So Nine Stalker, Yule Scepter, Diffuser Blade, as well done, Mirana, Pugna, Yule Scepter, and Drums. That's why they could chase down that far. And then the Tidehunter, he doesn't have one. So 2 Yule Scepters, but they popped off 4 times during that. Oh, wow. Big. He didn't even have that during the last fight. And that still went that way. Wild Honey Badgers is so strong at this point. Anti-Mage just like, I need farm. Give me farm. Bottom lane, you can give me farm. You can also give me an arrow flying at me from Peppy. Peppy's just star falls down the creep and says, these are mine.
Denied.
And Anti-Mage just forced back. There's nothing he can do. He's just watching. In fact, now that creep chasing him. Sea Badger runs up. Looks for the blast. Damages that tower. Tower not within deny range. So he can't get rid of that. They don't want to. It's only one of 2 tier 2 towers they have left. It's got almost no life. And now the wards are up. They're looking on the bottom lane. And the tower's gone. Mirana gets it. Already with that Manta and Diffusal. So many Peppies. And every Peppy sucks away that mana. So Anti-Mage will have nothing left. And he's now just attacking from the low ground. There is a missed chance when you go up that hill. And it's really harsh on him. Which means you can't push into the barracks that easy. But there's middle laners to keep pushing with those mega melee creeps. In the meantime, Peppy also joining in. Hello, Venomancer, saying hi in the middle lane. Tide. We saw him rotating in towards that jungle. And that's the reason why I see Badger and Synderen up on the top. They just want to get rid of these last towers outside the position. Wild Honey Badgers, they're just going to make sure they don't make a mistake right now. Don't get caught in an ES ulti, SK ultimate. If these pop off, then Wild Honey Badgers are going to find themselves in a lot of trouble. But we saw them before. They shut down that SK. They shut down Omni-Knight. They shut down the Enigma. Enigma's ulti was actually just broken by a simple thing. Such a simple thing called a stun. That's all you really need. You stun him off. He doesn't get the ultimate off. And there's no black hole. There's no SK ultimate while they're all held in place. There's none of this whatsoever. So in the meantime, Fnatic MSI cleaning up the mess that was created inside their base. On the bright side for them was only 1 melee barracks that goes down, and they still have a decent amount of farm on that Anti-Mage. Downside for Anti-Mage is he's died a couple of times, so actually only 1 time he's died. And that CS is still insane, but so it is from Sea Badger as well. He's got some very... Holy crap. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that needs to be spent. In the meantime, just scouting out, trying to figure out what the opposition is doing. It's always a dangerous time when you go in about 36 minutes into a game. It's just like, okay, well, there's a lot of options. Roshan can go down. Are they going to push a lane? Are they smoke ganking? Because really, Wild Honey Badgers could do that. They can just look for an opening, you smoke gank up, you go invis, you can run past any wards that Fnatic MSI have up on the map. You'll have no vision of them coming in. And this one looks like Anti-Mage just sitting there on the front lane, looking very juicy. SK also shows himself there in the middle lane. But this is a possible bait, and Wild Honey Badgers will know this. The Wild Honey Badgers might also have enough confidence that they can bring down that Anti-Mage before he can get back out again. All they need is just a little bit. I love a counter warning. They want to know what's going to happen. Arrow will fly. Hit somewhere on Crystal Maiden. No one is that suicidal, not even a Badger, to dive that far into the base. Not knowing there's that many there, and knowing that with the counter ward, they threw down that sentry, so they know they can't go invis, so they can't use the Mirana ultimate to initiate. TP down from Peppy, wants to keep that bottom tower, or maybe at least just get the deny. We'll have to get the deny. Yeah, it turns around. Oh, hang on, cancels. Only 38 HP on that tower, and says, I'm not going to deny, man. I like that tower. A tower of mere friends. There's still 2 tier 1 towers standing. It's the same position as what Wild Honey Badgers were in the last game. A good advantage. big spike up on advantage. Big spike up on advantage. But we've also seen what can happen with a big hard carry. Anti-Mage can do it. And that's one thing Wild Honey Badgers do not have. They do not have a big, unstoppable hero. If Anti-Mage gets that heart, the team fights will be completely different. They do not have enough damage to kill down that Anti-Mage, and that's why we see Diffusal. We see Manta style up on Mirana, and we don't see things like a Lincoln Sphere. We don't see defensive items, because if we see that, they won't have enough damage to rip through that Anti-Mage if he gets unstoppable. And Anti-Mage just needs that farm. So the Reaver will be the first thing they need. Nice Stalker, going in towards that middle lane. Just showing himself up. Mitch blinks in. Now Epicenter just going to Sandstorm. Just wants to make him think twice about going in. And in the meantime, Fnatic trying to hold their lines wherever they can. They realize they need to commit more heroes in towards that middle lane. But they also realize they need to keep control of this map. A lot of their wards, I've been watching counter warding everywhere. They don't want to be caught by surprise, but they also don't want to have to sit in their base. While this happens, it's just like, okay, what the hell am I going to do? I'm not getting farm, I'm not getting the money I need, and I'm also giving Wild Honey Badgers the complete option of anywhere on the map. Look, even now Synderen just on that bottom lane, farming up the creep wave, does not give two hoots at all for anything happening on that bottom lane. And there we go. That's what I couldn't show before, and now I can. Roshan killed by Wild Honey Badgers.
Immortality.
Immortality does go to Night Stalker. A BKB, Yule Scepter. Well, hello conversion. This was not this day. So Wild Honey Badgers will look to push in this bottom lane. All 5 heroes, you saw them just go up, and now even counter warding as they're moving through. They do not want to be surprised at all. And Synderen's going to be the first one in. He's the one that can tank. It is still nighttime because of his ultimate. And now Mitch getting spotted up. The Venomous ward up on the high ground. Means when he's getting attacked, he cannot use that blink dagger when he's being attacked. So he can't set up for his epicenter. So now I've got to prep. Ultimates must pop off. Ultimates must be right. The fortification goes up. TP support's going to come in. SK, he's got to get this right. Anti-Mage's here. Synderen goes in. Mitch has already used his Burrow Strike. Where's the epicenter pipe popping up from Fnatic? It's very, very early. Heals as well. Was not close enough for Synderen to do off any damage. And Anti-Mage trying to burn off the mana. And now the Ravage pops off from Karate. The stun has the effect, even though Omni's ulti was up. And in comes SK. Big epicenter. A lot of damage, but the pipe just pops off. And Nima pops with the black hole. All he's got is the Tidehunter, who will just live through it, but still the push is going back. Buybacks need to come back into the game. A lot of trouble. Wild Honey Badgers, they're getting more. There's a double kill. Anti-Mage fires back. Andre's in trouble. He's doing what he can, and all he can do is die. The bottom barracks will go down. Wild Honey Badgers, in comes SK again, and Anti-Mage. They need to do some damage, but Anti-Mage just decrepified. Pops the Manta Style off, wants to get back in. He's lost all his illusions already. The bottom barracks is gone. Peppy's been taking care of that. SK Burrow strikes up. Instantly used up as he tried to Burrow Strike. A fun play with the animation. They managed to blink out as well. Wild Honey Badgers going for the GG. Can they finish it right now? They probably can. The bottom barracks, the bottom lane's pushed in. They want the tier 4 towers. They can finish this, maybe, and become the Dreamhack 2011 Winter Championship champions of 2011. You know I said that twice. Now onto the tier 4 towers, it's almost gone. SK Burrow strikes, there is still no epicenter. Goes for the Sandstorm, but the dust pops off. He is revealed, he will go down. Arrow on Crystal Maiden, AM taking another play. The Yule Scepter goes up, Pipe as well. The big play is going. Andre's here, SK Burrows, Wild Honey Badgers doing what they can. Peppy pops the Manta, runs on down, buys time for Synderen to kill off the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage goes down, Peppy attacks from the trees. Midge is in the Sandstorm. Already the celebration of Wild Honey Badgers, who are your victors. They have come through the round of 64 to battle all the way through into the grand final. They huddle together. An amazing victory. The boys from Sweden with the captain from Denmark. And now the shaking of hands. Great friends, these two teams. The Fnatic MSI boys played a very, very strong game. They did what they could. Solid as a rock, pushing it to 41 minutes. An amazing second game, which I don't think anybody will forget here on the main stage, where the Wild Honey Badgers have gone through, taking the lion's share of 10,000, because big thanks to Corsair for making this DotA 2 tournament happening. And they've just come from nowhere to take this out, losing the first game, coming back, winning the second, taking out the third. And our mate should pull it through. So we might go down to the teams in just a moment.
We decided to raise the bar again and set 3 new world records. World record number 1, fastest internet access. World record number 2, number of computers connected to a local area network. World record number 3, capacity usage at a local area network party. Thanks to the latest technology from Telia and Cisco, Dreamhack Festival participants will access the world's fastest internet connection with a breathtaking speed of 120 gigabits per second. That's 5 times faster than last year's Dreamhack. At Dreamhack Winter 2010, a new world record was set. 12,754 computers connected to the network. At Dreamhack Winter 2007, the top bandwidth usage was 20 gigabits per second. This year, we want you to beat the record. We have the fastest connection ever. Now, it's up to you. It's time to make history and set the new world's records together. Dreamhack is the world's largest digital festival and holds the official
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Gareth from Corsair. So on behalf of Corsair, I'd like to thank all the teams for a great tournament. And if we could get the runners up first to collect their check for 25,000. It's Fnatic MSI. We could have a round of applause for Fnatic MSI. Okay, and now for the winners. Local boys, Wild Honey Badgers. Congratulations, guys. It's your check for 50,000. I think we're missing a team member. He's having a shifty cigarette.